Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's psychology time might be a little offensive to some, but my point is always to educate and kind of lift some eyes on things. Now again, I'm not forcing you to believe anything. You're allowed to believe whatever you want. I just want to educate. So for a little over a year, I was working as a sex offender therapist. What I like to say is someone who's offended sexually, because a sex offender is someone who's actively offending in my eyes. Someone who has a sexual offense is someone who did it and they're now in therapy to fix it. By no means do I accept the fact that this has happened, like something like I don't accept people to just sexually offend. I understand it though, and that's what I want people to kind of understand, to get in that mindset, or hopefully understand one day. And it's up to you. I'm not trying to force you to do anything. Thing about sex offender therapy is it's cognitively based, so it is a cognitive behavioral therapy kind of setting. So it's retraining the brain from thoughts and processes of bad behaviors. Some things that people don't understand is that some people who have sexually offended did so because they were also sexually offended. This is something you can learn as a learned behavior. So as you grow up, if you've lost your childhood, you think, oh, this is okay. And your brain set tells you it's okay, even though in the back of your mind, all of them will say, I didn't feel right doing it, but I still did it because it was done to me. Or they were so intoxicated, or I don't see them as excuses. I see them as ways that it helped enhance this to happen. Because again, trauma happens on multiple levels. And when someone has been tortured their entire childhood, it can breed this attitude and behavior inside of you that makes you think outside of the emotional box. Like it can make you numb to what others think, feel, and anything going on around you. So when you snap back into that, which I've seen in therapy, people have emotional breakdowns because they are finally sitting down and seeing what they did and what they put someone through. So it is a very intense therapy, and there are different levels of it. Here in Colorado, they're coming up with a tier system: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So tier 1 is like the low risk level of reoffending, tier 2 is the average risk, like low risk, and then tier 3 is the high risk, things that if without therapy, more than likely this could happen again. Not saying it will, but the point of Colorado prison system is to lower the risk of recidivism and not have these people come back to prison, but instead go out there and be able to live productive lives and not feel as though they're stuck in prison the rest of their lives. And some of these people get life sentences. Some of these people get indeterminate sentences, which means no matter what, the rest of their life, they're going to have to be on parole and do treatment. And I do believe some of these people are have the ability to be rehabilitated. And it's, even though it's can be hard, because again, you have to face a lot of things, and sex offender therapy goes beyond just the sex offense. It goes into how was it created? How did you get into that mindset? Tell me about your story. What did you go through? And the thing is, it can happen to anyone. It's not just one specific person. So when I see people go around calling people pedos or something like that, there's no definitive look of someone who has an actual sex offender look, or someone who's offended sexually. And again, there is a scale to even look at someone who, just because they have a sex offense doesn't mean they're a pedophile. It takes an actual criteria to be that. And what a lot of people don't know is there's also an ephebophile and what's the other one? Hebophile. So these are people with pedophilia. It's people who generally are attracted to the age of 13, 11, and under. With hebophile, it's anywhere from 11 to 15. And with an ephebophile, it's anywhere from 15 to 18. And I'm not sure if I mixed ephebophile and hebophile, but I'm pretty sure it's those two there. If not, those two are switched. And it means the different. So again, there's not just the that area of pedophilia. So again, there's so many different things to look at, and then with the tests and assessments, you have to look at their SOTIPs, which is a scale for every 6 months where they're at and what they've learned, if they've progressed in their thought process or they've regressed. Because sometimes if they're not getting along with their therapist, or they're just not getting the accurate therapy, or they're just not wanting to do therapy, they can regress. If they are doing the accurate therapy and they are learning things from it, they can progress. I think while I was working there, I had a total of like 9-10 people advance out of treatment and into the community. And it's a very good feeling, because again, that means these people are getting it. And I check on them every here and there, because I still work within the prison system, and they're all still out there, which is awesome. It means they're doing the right thing. And I hope that for all of them. I hope that people can realize that they can switch behaviors with the cognitive behavioral therapy, because that's what it's meant for. Cognitive behavioral therapy is to switch unintentional bad behaviors with good behaviors. And I'm not a person that believes that there are bad people in this planet. I believe that people have been raised to have certain attitudes and feelings and actions. Do I believe people get to a point of like no return? Yes, but that's because they themselves have told themselves they are not redeemable. So therapy fixes a lot of things, and with offense-specific treatment for people who have offended sexually, there's sometimes a lot of work that needs to go into it, or sometimes it's just minor, because again, there's that tier system. There's level 1, 2, and 3. I've never worked with level 3s before, but I've worked with level 2s and 1s. But even level 3s can get out into the community. It's just about being able to feel you can change and getting past your own traumas and or things that have happened to you that have put you into that mindset. So it's a very controversial type for a very controversial type population. But it's something that needs to be put out there as well, so we can. I don't say you should ever forget, but forgiveness is always within. And a big thing that I try to teach these guys is forgiveness is within. You may never get forgiveness from the people you have hurt or harmed. It's just something you're going to have to be able to forgive yourself for, because that's something, if you say I can never forgive myself until this person forgives me, you might spend the rest of your life never forgiving yourself. So inner forgiveness is a huge thing. Whenever you've done something bad and you know you've grown from it, you have to find a way to forgive yourself, or you're going to hold that trauma and you're going to hold that aspect onto you. Because I do believe that when someone sexually offends, they've created their own trauma to themselves, because now they have to live with that the rest of their lives and find a way to overcome it. Because if you sit there and allow others to tell you you're a monster for the rest of your life, you're going to believe it. So although it's a crappy situation that happened, I believe people are redeemable. And I believe people should believe other people are redeemable, because it's human nature to do things that, depending on your religious affiliation, are sinful, are of bad behavior, or whatever, or karmic. It's just about being able to see people as redeemable and forgivable. Because if we hold on to hate will consume our lives. So I don't want to cause a huge controversy and make people think that, I don't even know. I don't want people to think that there's these guys and gals out there who do this, because it's different for female sex offenders, because they can't even be on a certain scale. They can't get measured on certain things, so it's not like that. And there's all different types of things too. There's also the static 99R, which again puts you in that level system, whether you're low risk, below risk, high risk. In that area, there's also the VASER, there's ABLE assessments, there's just so many, the psychosexual evaluation. There's so many things to go through to find out these things that happen to these people and how they got to where they are. I think it's human nature to want to hate them, but also it's human nature to understand. And it's also human nature to forgive. Again, I'm not forcing you to forgive someone, but forgiveness from within and to others is a big way to help release hate and bitterness and this negative energy. And that's why I try to incorporate that into pagan and Wiccan psychology, because holding on to that energy can affect your energy when you're doing any type of Wiccan practice. It can affect you and make everything around you negative. And the next thing you know, you're hating your own practice because everything's just dark and bitter. So I always say, if anything, try and forgive yourself and learn to forgive others, because again, it's going to help bring you to a higher mindset and overcome things. So this video, again, like I said, is controversial. But I wanted to do it because, again, this is a population I also like to work with, because they are also misunderstood. So I want to help everyone kind of get to a point where they can understand things and not just be one track mind. They can see things from different lights and not just from what society might do. Because again, there are a lot of people out there in society who are going to say hateful things to people who have a sex offense. And it's as easy as them knowing that there's a sex offender in the neighborhood, and that guy may have not even sexually offended. He may have done something like exposed himself, and that now he could be a registered sex offender. And I don't even think it's the crime too. I think it's a lot of misunderstandings of many things, many areas, many aspects of a sexual offense. So I would say try and look beyond that, because again, that's not just your story, and it's not these people around trying to make them look like bad guys. So if you see someone calling someone a monster and being bad, you're not helping someone be redeemable, and you're not helping that person grow. You're putting them back into the ground. And what people don't know is sometimes that can actually create more damaging effects. So my point is to try and be a little more human and remember that we all make mistakes. Some things aren't okay, but they are understandable. If you all have anything else you want to learn about any of this area specifically, or anything in psychology, drop some comments below. I like to do these hopefully every Wednesday. And until next time, hope you all have a good day, night, wherever you are, and talk to you later.